Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and recorded another Bulgarian session for you guys today. How would I describe today's workout? Average. I know people are going to say, yeah, but you're lifting more weight than you were lifting a week ago. Yeah, I am, but this workout felt average. Nothing was particularly hard, and nothing was particularly light. It all felt moderately heavy, but no real problems. I went ahead and did my 455 again on my squats, which I put up that earlier for you guys today. Honestly, I felt a little stiff. Like my first two warm-ups were okay. These two were fine, even with 265. When I went to 375, I felt a little stiff. It's like, oh man, I'm going to have to make sure I get really tight under that bar, get everything loosened up. So actually, normally on these ramp-ups, I sometimes take 60 seconds between these. I mean, literally, a lot of these, when I'm ramping up to my peak sets, I throw new plates on the bar, return the camera back on, walk back over and do my next set. So however long it takes me to turn the camera on and off, put the plates, collars on, I don't know, I guess that's a minute is usually what I do, and then I'll wait. Sometimes if I'm feeling really good, I'll just go 2-3 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and jump into my peak set. If I'm feeling a little stiff like I did today, I might wait up to 10 minutes. Because this one felt a little stiff, the 375, so I went down, chilled at my computer, drank a little bit of coffee, came over and did my 455 squat. And it actually felt pretty good. I wouldn't call it super light, but it also wasn't a grinder, and it didn't feel that heavy. It's like I felt like I could have doubled this today. Now, when I say that, though, I don't mean a second rep would have been easy, and second rep would have been pretty heavy. But this wasn't a 1 rep max, which tells me, I've had people ask me where do I think I'm at if I were to take a couple days off, because I don't want to hit a 1 rep max after squatting every day for weeks on end. But if I were to take 2 or 3 days off and come back and hit a max, I think I could hit 500 right now. But that really isn't the goal. The goal is to get to 500 every day. So here's the 455. Look at that. Nice and smooth. I mean, not super light, but RPE, 8.5? I'll call it RPE 8.5, maybe 9. Bench press, pretty similar today. I did my 320 again today. Maybe that's my new baseline. I've done 320 a couple different days now. So I feel like maybe 320 is my new baseline every day minimum. We'll see. I'll have to see how it goes. I mean, if I get a day to where it just feels too hard to do it, I'll drop back down to 305 or 315. I don't care. It's about the cumulative fatigue. It's about hitting relatively heavy singles over and over and over. That's the whole point. Also, people ask me what music do I listen to. And then they heard my couple of clips I've done with the mic open in here where I don't have it muted for the voiceovers, and they realize I don't have any music. I don't need music. I'm trying to keep everything low psychological arousal. That's part of the key to this style of training. It's about being calm. About being calm, coming in and hitting your numbers, because this is the point. Bulgarian training is based around hitting the heaviest weights you can hit with good form every day, calmly, without psyching yourself up. That's the whole point, guys. That's the whole point, because again, as Matt Perryman wrote in his book, Squat Every Day, and it's his data he's looked at, psychological arousal has its own overtraining component. That you can do a lot more total work every week, and more heavy singles even, if you keep yourself calm. You don't overtrain as easy. So a lot of this is about fatigue management, about stress management. That you can just lift heavy day in, day out, and keep getting stronger over time. And that's what's happening. I mean, I've had points in this where I've stalled for a couple weeks at a time. I've stalled, I've been at this over 2 months. I've had some lifts that I've stalled for 3 weeks straight. It happens. And particularly things like the press, the overhead press. Yeah, you could stall real easy. But these other lifts are going up. They're going up. The bench and the squat, which is really where my focus needs to be. I like stuff like the chin up. I want to get stronger at the chin up. I want to get stronger at the press. But let's be honest, these aren't necessarily always as important as far as competitive lifts go. And it all carries over. It all carries over. I'd like to get my chin up to 110 pounds plus my body weight. I think that's a worthy goal. It's going to take me a little while to get there. I might get there this year. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get there at the pace that my connective tissue and my recovery will allow. we're going to work on it. And my chin-ups, you know, I've taken quite a few days off from chin-ups. And I've just done rows and some other stuff, you know, just trying to keep that strength there while I let that connective tissue recover, and it helped a lot today. Now, that connective tissue felt a little inflamed after that 55, but then it went away. And I didn't feel it after this 80 pound. So that's a good thing. I'm not experiencing any of that connective tissue pain. Now, that doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to chin up again tomorrow. I'll probably do it in a couple days. I think what I'll do with these, you know, because again, I've been working with the connective tissue. I think if I can hit a heavy chin up twice a week, as long as I'm doing other pulling, it'll probably be okay. It'll probably be okay. I'll keep going up on it. There we go. It was a little hard getting to the top. There we go. We got it. It wasn't necessarily an easy rep, but it wasn't terrible. You know, I felt comfortable with that. Like, I'm happy with that. Will I try 85 soon? Maybe. I might even try it later this week. I might try to go up 5 pounds. You know, we get stronger by doing that. All right, volume today on the trap bar. Kept the volume the same. I went up 10 pounds, and I think that's what I'll try to do again in 2 days. I'm going to do moderate volume triples, you know, about 5 triples, 3 days a week on these, right? Every other day. It seems to be helping my squat a lot, helping my overall development. It's helping with a little bit of conditioning because, I mean, I'm doing a little bit of conditioning stuff at the end of the day in the evening, but getting a little bit more volume on these big exercises, I think it's helping. I think it's helping with my overall caloric burn. I think it's helping with hypertrophy. So I need to be doing some of this. Now that I'm able to recover from it, I need to be doing this. So we're just going to slowly work these up. And you guys noticed this first heavy set, I had to readjust the grip every time. And then after that, it got real smooth. There's a learning curve of figuring out where to put your feet in your hands with this trap bar. And I'm learning it. And now if I were to walk over and pull 500, I don't even think it would be anything because it's just getting that grip set right. But I'm getting good grip work here. I'm getting good hypertrophy work. People say, why triples? I tell you guys, do all your lift mastery with triples. Any new lift you need to learn quickly, a lot of triples. Triples allow you to produce maximum force. Force production goes down after 3 reps. Bar speed goes down after 3 reps. So triples are where it's at. They're a nice sweet spot for balancing power, technique, hypertrophy. And if you do the same number of reps with triples versus doing a little bit more reps, you get more first reps in. That carries over into better technique on your first rep for hitting maxes. So there's a lot of reason to do triples. They're really the highest reps you can get away with for maximum power and speed. They give you enough volume if you do new sets of them to stimulate really good hypertrophy and everything else. So this is just coming along, you know, and you get a lot of first reps. And that's the point. I'll get 15 first reps every week doing this. So that'll make me relatively good at this trap bar. Once I start loading it up heavier, it's going to get easier. And I'm just going to slowly ramp it up. I'll probably go up 10 pounds again next time on this. And we'll just keep adding weight. Just keep adding weight. Look at that. See how much cleaner it gets the further I go? It just keeps getting cleaner and cleaner. I'm getting more explosive forms getting dialed in after that first work set. I really seem to need that first one to kind of get in my groove, and then after that it does. What will happen eventually, that first set I'll be in my groove because I'll have done it enough, and then when we get to that point, it's going to get easy to get strong on this. But for now, it works so much muscle mass in the body that I think it's really going to help me recomp. You know, again, because the scale is starting to slowly go down. Strength is still going up. I'm striking a good balance right now, and I don't want to disrupt that. I mean, I'm winning right now, guys. The fact that the scale is actually slowly working down means I have to be losing body fat. I have to be losing body fat. And the fact that I'm gaining strength tells me I have to be gaining a little bit of muscle. So I'm gaining strength on this at a reasonable rate. I'm losing body fat and body weight now at a very, very slow, nice little rate. You know, I'm striking a good balance. So we need to maintain that. So it's just about getting enough volume with these other lifts. And look at that bench. I'll throw the bench in here for you guys at the end. It's about getting just enough volume on everything to strike that balance. Just enough conditioning work to help with a little more hypertrophy, recovery, caloric burn without burning me out and interfering with my adaptation to my heavy training. So I feel like right now everything is striking a good balance. My body's adapting to this style of training. It's now used to it. It just expects it and anticipates it. So the whole point is just keeping everything balanced and not getting hurt. That's the key. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.